the podcast about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. I just want to let you guys know that we are a twice monthly podcast. So we drop episodes twice a month, and if you can listen, and you can listen to them wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you haven't already, if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a like and a 5-star review, and leave a little rating. That'll really help get the word out. And if you want some more content, we also have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/lie, cheat, and steal. We do 2 more episodes every month, and you can also get access to our Discord server where everybody's talking about scams, and it's a fun place to be. I am your host, Pat Soroyce, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Kath Barbadoro. Kath, how you doing?
Hi, Pat. I'm good. As seems to be, I'm just determined to look like shit on these Zooms. I don't know what's like. I just went to the gym. So like where I work, the gym is like 50 feet away. So I just did a quick workout and then just rolled back over here, ate a dosa in like 5 minutes. It was great. Just wolfed it down. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I would say you look energized. You know what I'm saying? I feel you got like the I just work out glow. You're going good. Eh?
I have a nice glow about me, aka I am sweaty and have not showered. But I hate to be disheveled in front of our guest today. We have a special guest today on our Zoom. You're a friend of mine, comedian, rock star, devout Christian from what I saw this weekend. Mike Wiebe is here. Hello, Mike.
Hey. Well, you have, I don't think you look disheveled, but at least if you were going to say that, at least you have going to the gym. I just look like shit today just cause. just general malaise.
Yeah.
You look great, although your curtains behind you are they're a little depressing to me. Those are some sadness curtains.
Yeah.
You look like you're like joining us from like Soviet Russia.
Computer watches you.
Man, I did a gym day yesterday that has me walking like a toddler today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do? What do you think did it?
Well, it was okay. So I did this thing where I go on the little roller ball on the yoga mat, and I'll
like
put
in
on
a
my
hamster
back.
wheel, because I'm imagining a hamster.
Oh yeah, American Gladiators type event.
I just poop in some wood chips, and I just gotta go, and eventually I'm gonna get somewhere.
Yeah.
The foam roller guy.
Yeah.
So I go back to the foam roller, and I do like this on it, where it's like on my lower back, and my legs are in the air, and I do like these bicycle kick exercises, and I don't know what else to call them, but stripper heel clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. I do those, and I do some like little guys like that, and basically it's just like a lot of leg workout, and it's not necessarily your legs. It's like I woke up and like my ass was sore, just like my ass muscles, and I like walking sucked, sitting down sucked. There was like I got up and was like, oh shit, I need to sit down. I sat down, I was like, oh, that hurts, and I just laid like belly first on the couch for like 45 minutes. So I was like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna attack the day? I can't even put on pants. And then I just stumbled over 5 Advil and like 2 bowls, and I was good.
Get the cat to come knead those buttocks.
Yeah. Man.
Like biscuits on there.
I just gotta let all the stray cats from our apartment complex in. And
rub some tuna on your buns.
There you go.
Look, that's how you solve a problem. You rub some tuna on your butt. You
Step
lay
one.
face first. Yeah. Step 1, get some tuna. Is it on your butt?
Science.
Get it on there. No, I live in an apartment complex that has a healthy cast of cats that I like to imagine are at war with the raccoons, because they're also here. So, but yeah, we had a gym day. We're talking about the gym here, so I guess a little bit of a segue. I wanted to talk about health and fitness in a sense, perceived health and fitness. I'm talking today about Bang Energy.
Okay.
Drink. Yeah.
Bang.
Bang, yeah, blot out. Also, we took a sponsorship, so this is totally pro Bang.
Well, I was gonna ask, because like I'm not, and I feel like this is the 2023 version of saying you don't own a television. You sound like a shithead. I'm not an energy drink person. I never drink them. Where does Bang? I would love your rankings. You both are like, Mike, you're a touring musician. Pat, you're on the road all the time. Do you like energy drinks, and where does Bang fall in the ranking?
I consume a shit ton of energy drinks. I would say to the point where I'm like, I need to cut back on my energy
I'm
drink
like,
intake.
we should be worried. Okay.
Yeah.
Too much
Well,
energy, or harness all that power.
yeah. Well, like I just, caffeine helps when you drive. And then also like if you drink an energy drink every day and you skip a day, like you have little withdrawals. Like you get like a headache, you're cranky. And so it's definitely not where I need to be at. But so I will say Bang, I didn't fuck with Bang till recently. Maybe like the last 2 or 3 years. And initially I saw them everywhere. And then I saw them there on one of those companies that was like these companies supported Trump or donated to the Trump campaign. I was like, all right. So I was like, I'll and most of the things on there I didn't use. I think the only one that was going to be an issue was Taco Bell. I was like, I'll have to think about that. But then I saw that Bang was on there, and I was like, I don't drink Bang. I drink sugar-free Red Bull. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
But I was during quarantine, and I would just walk to the flag store every day in Hyde Park, and you're just bored. I have nothing else to do, So I just was like, let's fucking try these Bangs, and they're
Got
good.
Hooked.
Yeah, they got a lot of different flavors. But like the real selling point, we'll get into it. It's 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay.
That shit it's the kick in the pants. And it's to the point where like now that you fuck with a 300 milligram energy drink, you kind of got to stay there. You can't just you wake. I can't get the little 8.4 ounce Red Bull. That's like a bullet on Superman's chest at this point.
Yeah.
if Superman were addicted to Red Bull.
What about you, Mike? How do you feel about energy drink in general, and then also what are your Bang thoughts?
I've never actually. I've just became aware of Bang in the last 6 months through that show, John Helps You, that HBO show.
How to with John Wilson.
How to with John Wilson. There's a great episode where they end up at the fellow we're about to discuss his house, and the thing is, I realized I'd seen Bang in stores, but always assumed it was alcoholic. I assumed it was like a Four
Loko situation,
type situation.
Well, they did.
So I never tried that.
They released some alcoholic Bang. It's out there.
Oh, I mean,
that shouldn't be allowed. That's
not good. I'll say this: when I've been in a band called Riverboat Gamblers, and we had one of our first records, or second record actually, we had a song called Sparks and Shots that was about this energy alcoholic drink called Sparks. It was the first, like the pre Four Loko, and it was just like a funny, like we thought it was such a stupid energy drink. It was kind of like an ironic song, this like orange. And so, but after we wrote it and put that record, I was like, well, I guess we should tell Sparks that we wrote a song, because it was ironic, but they wouldn't have known that. So we sent it to them, and they're like, yeah, we don't really have a budget for licensing. We don't really do any commercials or anything like that, but if you're ever in Vegas, that's where our brewery is, and we'll come by and hook you up. And we were going through Vegas, and we reached out to them, and they showed up with like motocross jerseys. We all got Sparks motocross jerseys.
Oh my god, like the street team came.
The full, and they brought a pallet of Sparks for us, and it was so much more than we could even carry in the trailer of our van that we were carrying. So we were just handing out sixers of Sparks to homeless guys all around the Las Vegas area, like downtown Fremont, Vegas. And I liked it. I mean, I haven't looked at the crime reports, but it had to be a gnarly week in there.
Made a dent for sure. That's wild.
Super powered homeless people just drunk, like one jumping over fences and shit.
And I would, and then my other energy drink kind of experiences, and I often reference this as, it's not the best job I ever had, but it was kind of the best job I ever had at the time. I got hired right when Red Bull was first starting, and they had the little cars with when it was new, and you're like, oh, what's that little Mini Cooper with the Red Bull thing on it? And there would be people that go around and hand those out. It wasn't that. My job was just like brand awareness. I just wore my regular clothes and just went to bars, and I used my credit card, and I could put in like, I can't remember, it was like $500 or maybe at the time it was like $200 of Red Bull like what do they call Jaeger bombs and stuff like that, because it was like this brand new thing, and I was supposed to and I had like talking points, and I got paid $30 an hour, which is still good now, but in I guess like early aughts money, that was like fucking like holy shit. Right. And I could only do like 20 hours a week or something like that, but it was the best job I ever had. And I would just tell all my friends, I just would tell, and I'd have to go to different bars, but like I would just tell friends, all my friends, like, hey, I'm going to whatever bar, and they'd all meet me there, and I did no work exploiting the brand other than my friends and stuff, and it was really sweet. And I had to go to like weird corporate meetings where they would talk about it, and I would just kind of be the only guy like not in a polo shirt with a lot of grease in his hair, and they were talking about brand awareness and stuff. And then the guy that was my contact got fired, and I reached out to people. I just never heard from anyone again.
They're like, they didn't even know you existed. They're like,
they had no idea. They had no idea.
You were so deep on the inside. It was like when The Departed, when he has to go get his files.
Totally. Yeah, no one knew I was there.
I did a show at White Swan one time with Ramin Nazer, to give you an idea of how long ago this was.
Wow.
And like it was sponsored by Rockstar Energy Drink. And the Rockstar dudes pulled up in the Rockstar mobile, and it was like 2 dudes who just looked like they worked for Rockstar and 2 girls who looked like they worked for Rockstar. It was the whole squad. And they got out there just giving out these like little mini cans. And they were just like all about it, most high energy people ever. And I got one of their real high caffeine content ones and drank it. And I had to go hit a food truck and buy something to eat because my fucking eyes were vibrating. And I was just off the little half guy. And but yeah, we had a great bit that we were like, I wonder if the Rockstar truck has a breathalyzer on it, and you have to have Rockstar on your breath to start the truck. Like, we don't want
you need to be hopped up on caffeine in order to drive the Rockstar mobile.
You need to be able to sing Motley Crue in the right.
Yeah, those dudes, like, I just know at the end of some shift, those dudes were just like cry screaming at each other, like, you always fucking do this about something. And he's like, I gotta get out of this company. Well, speaking about the great world of energy drinks that we just dove into, which is just such a class act all around. We're talking today, I said, about Bang Energy, and you can't talk about Bang Energy without talking about their CEO, Jack Owoc. Jack Owoc, I saw a comedian one time in a clip say that Jack Owoc, like the CEO of Bang, if you had to like pick a guy out of a room, it's like the most a guy could look like the CEO of Bang. Like, that's genetic makeup. Jack Owoc is a character. He is pretty much why the brand popped, because he's like, if you follow him on his Instagram is just him in these ridiculous like blazers that just have Bang all over it. They're wild.
Oh wow. Okay, I have Googled him. He looks like a combination of. He kind of looks like if Vince McMahon and Ron DeSantis were partners in Ed Hardy. That's what he looks like to me.
Yo, that is 100%. Because like I was trying to think, I was getting DeSantis vibes off, but not just for Florida, just because he's like a fun DeSantis.
He's got a big meaty head. He's got a big old meaty head.
That's what it is. Like DeSantis is so devoid of charisma. I feel like he kind of needs some caffeine to like spice him. Maybe this is what happens if you give Ron DeSantis caffeine.
Yeah.
This guy.
He's caffeinated Ron DeSantis. Yeah, and you get Jack Owoc. Yeah, I love how he always has like an emotionless face. Like he doesn't smile, but it's not doing much.
Yeah.
And he just has this blank expression all the time, like a deer in the headlights, but he's wearing like a purple hat and like a chain that says Bang, and he's just standing there just like, like between
it's a lot.
models.
And it's weird, like to see him in all that gaudy clothing, he looks like he should be wearing a boring, like just boring suit with a red tie, maybe a little Republican pin on it, but he's dressed like he's out dripped than like Wiz Khalifa or something like
he
that.
He has like a big gold chain. Yeah. It's a lot.
I will say, having been to Florida extensively for comedy and touring and shit, Florida has obviously there's that right-wing lifestyle brand we talked about in the right-wing griftosphere. But that is not only alive and well in Florida like it is in many other states. They honestly have a small amount of drip to it. Like they got some kind of style and flair down there where like it's still like what they stand for is
I've seen Spring
shit.
Breakers.
They make it look good. It's like they go around looking like Jack Owoc. I mean, necessarily good, but they make it look fun. You know?
Yeah.
A little bit of style there. We're like, I've been to like Alabama and met the conservative crowd there, and they're not as nearly as fun.
They don't have the whimsy.
Yeah. So Bang Energy, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the whimsy. over at Bang, and just pretty much promoting this lifestyle that the dude, at least on his Instagram, looks to embody. So to bring viewers up to speed, if you have no clue what we're talking about, Bang Energy is a Florida-based American energy drink brand made by Vital Pharmaceuticals. The company is ran by its founder, CEO Jack Owoc, who also serves as the brand's chief scientific officer. And we'll get in to all the breakthroughs this man has made in the world of supplements. This guy up here. Yeah, so he was the chief scientific officer. Now, after its debut in 2012, Bang skyrocketed in both sales and popularity, driven by Jack's insane antics and online presence. He and his wife, who is the former Florida Panthers cheerleader and current head of marketing for Bang. Her name it's Meg Liz Owoc, but more than a few websites put it as one word, Meg Liz. And neither would surprise me. But we're going to call her Meg Owoc. And they cultivated an online brand through heavy promotion from influencers and over-the-top online ads featuring beautiful young women in bikinis, drinking Bang, and having more fun than anyone's ever had. And that's kind of what they promote. They in the commercials, they crack open huge coolers of Bang. It's like literally, it's like a kilo of caffeine in that fucking thing, and they open it up. Like if all of those cans got drank, there'd be a public health crisis.
And you're telling me like Bang? So a can of Bang is like what? 3 cups of coffee?
It's 3. Yeah, they said it's about 3 cups. It's 300 milligrams.
Okay.
Which is just like that's an insane amount of caffeine.
Yeah.
Like
no, I accidentally. That's a good question.
Sugar.
Okay, 0 sugar.
Yeah, I will say of all the energy drinks,
it's healthy. I
drink a lot of energy drinks. The sugar-free energy drink market is wide open. So I only fuck with sugar-free. So
and you don't have a lot of options. You're saying?
No. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's big. Most of them don't have sugar. It's kind of like a lot of them have sugar, but there's a huge selection of sugar-free energy drinks because they just realized like people are way over that shit. Like I used to drink full-on Red Bulls when I was like in my 20s, and I look back and think about how much sugar that must have been. It's mind-boggling. But these
I just like I don't know. I accidentally, when I was in Austin this past weekend, I accidentally drank a can of cold brew that was 200, and it like fucked me up. It like was a problem. So
yeah,
I can't imagine 300.
It could be a lot. Like I've when I was driving back, our last show was like right outside of Vegas, and my opener had to be. He lives in Austin. He had to be to work, so we were like, all right, fuck it, we're just gonna go through a 14-hour drive. And so I drank some energy drinks, but I was doing my half of the drive, which is the second half. And even though I got in sleep and stuff, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna get tired. We still like 2 hours to go. So I stopped to drink another energy drink, and I got home and my eyes were darting around.
Yeah, it doesn't help after a certain point. It's not like doing much besides giving you heart palpitations.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes me feel alert and ready. If I feel my ticker, if I feel like the irregular ticker, I'm like, ooh, I can take on the day.
Right. When you feel the inside of your skull, that's when you know you're the best at driving.
When my heartbeat is irregular, I like to say I'm dancing to the beat of my own drummer. I'm going to make a bunch of great decisions today. I'm really being myself and living my truth.
Nice.
So, outside of its marketing blitz, but central to its messaging, are Bang's incredible health and fitness claims. According to Jack Owoc, the drink is packed with vitamins, essential amino acids, and his own creation, which, as far as I can tell, he's saying he invented this. It's called super creatine. And we'll get into super creatine and just the absolute contempt anyone who knows about like chemistry and fitness holds for the very concept of super creatine. He ruffled a lot of feathers with that.
I just don't feel like it's good advertising to be like, and there's a brand new chemical in my energy drink. Like that just, I don't know. Just give me the caffeine. That's why we're here. I don't need any. You don't need to put any extra special stuff in it that you invented.
We found a new element on the periodic table, and that's in there.
He's just punching, like the commercials is him punching through the periodic table. Get this bullshit out of my face. So these ingredients, plus again 300 milligrams of caffeine, according to Jack, make Bang the most healthy energy drink ever created. That's a quote. And that's a tame quote. He has other ones where he's just like, when you bang, you hang. You can't maintain, bang. It's like there's something about dudes like him that really, really gravitate towards a specific period in hip hop. And they want nothing to do with before or after or the people who made it. But they love like bling, bang. Like this, like as he would always say, there's a lot of daddies, but there's only one Mac daddy. And it's like just those. Yeah, he's a fucking psychopath. But like those
calling back some crisscross lyrics.
Yeah. They want nothing to do with hip hop in the years before or after this like 10-year period, but they're all in on that 10-year period.
How old is Jack?
Jack is 61 years old.
Okay.
Yeah,
or 63 now. He was born 1961, so that make him 62. Yeah, he's 62.
He looks every day of it as well.
Yeah. So these claims, coupled with Bang's meteoric rise, invoked the wrath of its competitors, who were the titans of the industry that Bang was disrupting. In 2022, Monster Energy Drink, along with a slew of other corporate entities, recently sued Bang's parent company, Vital Pharmaceuticals, and were awarded two separate rulings of $175 million and $300 million in damages. I know we only kind of saved that shit for the end of the program, but it's kind of integral to like the story going forward. So this nearly $500 million settlement, coupled with various other hundreds of millions of dollars in separate defaulted loans, have put Vital Pharmaceuticals in a financial tailspin, forcing them to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy and dissolve ties with their distributor, PepsiCo. So Jack Owoc in all of this has taken this opportunity to paint himself as a victim. He's like, yo, I came in, I disrupted the energy drink industry. Now they're trying to kill me.
They're trying to take me out. Yeah.
They're trying to destroy everything I fucking worked for. He says it's all sheer jealousy, and they just hate that he invented super creatine and that he's light years ahead of them. And
they can't stand it.
Breakthroughs.
Yeah.
That's such a funny thing these days. It's like I feel like so many people can shield criticism and be like, "Oh, you're a hater, you're jealous," and I'm just like, it's like over the stupidest shit. I don't have to tell people like, dude, I'm not jealous of this rapper. I'm saying they're trash. I'm allowed to say that movie was bad. It's like, oh, you're just jealous. You're not in the movie. It's like,
nope.
No,
you're coping. You're coping and seething. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm just a big pussy coping and seething.
Well, that Jack response is it goes right into the first time I saw this guy. I was like, oh, this is just the energy drink Trump.
Yeah.
It's that exact. And I mean, I didn't know, but I totally knew that he was a Trump supporter. You know, like I've never heard him say that, but I didn't need to hear him say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that runs fully in the line with like, I did the best thing in the world, and now they want to shut me down for it.
Yeah. Everybody's coming at me because everyone's so energized and zero sugar. Yeah, so
it is like so interesting because like that obviously is like a type of guy that has existed, particularly in America, but I think probably throughout humanity. Like, that's like a type. But I feel like since Trump has been so successful with it, a lot of people like there's like this guy's like the energy drink Trump. I feel like there's like every industry has a guy trying to do this, but a lot of times they're missing the charisma or something that Trump. Like, again, not to like commend Trump for anything, but like he does have a little bit of, that special sauce.
Yeah. Other than fixing this country, he didn't do nothing right. No, but that thing too of like, you just say a thing, you say a wild as fuck statement like I created a brand new chemical that no one's ever heard, and it's the best chemical in the world, and you just. If anyone pushes back with facts, with logic, with anything, you just go, nope, no, I'm right, and you lean so far into that and clearly, I think he didn't do this before. I mean, maybe he did, but like it's a tactic now. It's like a viable working tactic of just. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter. You just keep saying that you're right and everyone else is wrong, and that the world is wrong, that God is wrong, and science is wrong.
It forces everybody to they're playing catch up with you now. You know what I'm saying? Like you're over here like, I created a brand new chemical, and they're all like, whoa, no, you didn't. You're already working on your next fucking move. They're all over here trying to prove that super creatine isn't real. And meanwhile, you got the fucking coordinates for the moon laser or whatever the next step of your plan is.
If you're like charismatic enough and you have enough people that like have decided that you're on their team, they'll just think it's funny that you're doing it. So it's like, it's not like they think you're right. You don't have to convince them. You just have to convince them that it's funny that people are mad at you. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, like fucking like yeah, Elon Musk, like this dude's like driving a company into the ground in front of our eyes every day, and everybody's just like, dude, got their ass, man. And he's like, yeah, I know, dude, I did. Yeah, it's insane. I wonder if this has always existed and it's just amplified by the internet now, but it feels like something that you need modern media to sustain. I don't think you're gonna pull this off in the MySpace days, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that.
So
but anyway, so this he got killed on this lawsuit. It sounds
it fucked him up, but we'll get into it. And I gotta say, if there's anybody that I think can pull out of this tailspin, it's that fucking crazy weird asshole. So Jack has vowed to rebuild the brand and emerge victorious, but that may prove difficult because at the heart of both of these staggering lawsuits were claims that Bang has, and I hope we're all ready for this, lied about essentially every aspect of their existence and their draw, their whole brand, all of it. Some might say is dubious. So to understand how we got here, to fully comprehend the Bang lifestyle, we'll need to go back and look at Jack Owoc's story from the beginning. So Jack Owoc was born in 1961, and he grew up in a small Midwest town on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. Much like Jesus Christ, not much is known about Jack's formative years.
I just want to stop and say he is a lot like Jesus Christ, number one. Number two, anytime I hear about a guy like this being born in Pennsylvania, I get very worried that he could conceivably run for and win the presidency. That is just something to be terrified about. Just throwing that out there.
He can turn water into energy drink.
Yeah. Turn water into Bang. Oh man, that's great. It's like like when like Lazarus came back to life, he just slipped him a bang. He was like, "Here, have some."
Wow.
Yeah. Lazarus. They don't say this, but you go deep into biblical text. When Lazarus came back to life, he did the disturbed scream. He went. So Jack's formative, there's not a lot is done about his formative years. But by the early 1990s, he was living in Central Florida, got there as fast as he could, and he was working as either, depending on who you believe, a high school science teacher or a substitute teacher who mainly subbed science classes.
I think I can guess whose story is whose.
Yeah. He's real Walter White vibes. You know what I'm saying? He was a high school chemistry teacher. He was he got some life-shattering news that there was not enough drip in the world, and he made it do typical.
And he also cooks meth in the form of 300 milligrams of caffeine.
So there's no evidence that he was a full-time teacher anywhere, and he does not hold any degrees in science. But he said he was making about $1,900 a month doing teaching, and he said they paid at the end of the month. And he said it was always just like waiting for that end of month paycheck, which Jack, shit, been there, brother. That shit sucks dick. Also, just as a funny aside, you see the Elon tweet where he dropped the Twitter Blue membership to $7 for a limited time.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, when Elon is sending out hey, I'm letting him go 3 for $20 the week before rich due.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dog, man.
Tough times.
So he was fed up making $1,900 a month. And he decided to open up a supplement shop with his father. And he said they built it. It was a very small little, I think he said it was 700. No, that wasn't 700 square feet. I forget the square footage, but it was tiny. And he said that he had such little product on hand because he had no money that his dad made shelves. And he told him to make the shelves only so they could be one deep. So they'd all look fully stocked, which that's a solid move. And he spaced out how much space he would need for the retail thing, and then built a wall and slept on an air mattress behind it. And he called the place Vita House because he was sleeping there.
It is a house.
Yeah. So he claims that the rent was $700 a month, and he was able to clear that in 1 day of sales. And this is more than he made in a week as a teacher. So he soon had an experience that soured him. So he got into, at this point, he just gets straight up into selling supplements. Yeah. He's doing that, he's not making them. He's just, middlemaning it. But then he had an experience that soured him on the mass-produced supplements he was selling. A friend of his supposedly took a protein supplement that caused him to nearly suffocate in the shower. And yeah, man, I took this protein supplement, and what it did was it put my bathrobe tie around my neck.
Right, what?
And here I am, just trying to jack
Suffocate
off.
in the shower.
Yeah, I guess like he was having like.
Is he a turkey? Like he lifted up
Yeah.
his head and drowned?
I think that is suffocation by water just another way of saying drowning?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My friend suffocated at the bottom of a lake. Crazy. Yeah. So yeah, he said that his friend, I don't know if his friend was like having like chest pains or whatever. I listened to a couple like Jack Owoc story videos. Basically, it was a dude was taking this protein supplement. His health started like troubling him one day. He goes to go in the shower and his throat passage just closed up. So
allergic to water, classic.
Classic
problem from protein supplements. Yeah, that bang cures.
I think that is a classic problem among like right-leaning fitness gurus is that they are allergic to water because it seems that the end game for all of them is just to not have to bathe one day. They're like, if I just live life the right way, I don't have to shower anymore. It's like, who doesn't like showering? Why would you rob yourself of that? So Jack analyzed the protein supplement and found, because remember, he is a scientist.
Right. And, so he's holding it up and looking at it with a light behind it. Analyzing it.
Oh, man. Analyze the protein supplement sounds like what you have to call gay sex in Florida because you can't actually talk about it. Yeah, so my buddy's in the shower. I'm over there just analyzing the protein supplement. So he found it contained no actual protein. It was actually just maltodextrin. And so Jack was like, holy shit, I can't believe these dishonest, pharmaceutical people almost killed my boy. They massacred my boy. And so Jack would go on to found Vital Pharmaceuticals, or VPX, which is the parent company of Bang. So everything going forward, when we talk about Bang or any of his he has a couple other energy drinks. That's all VPX. So he starts that. And he began producing and selling supplements, and the shit took off. Like he was making a lot of money real quick. And so in the early 2000s, VPX entered the energy drink game. And I know this because, again, I drink Bangs a lot. And on the back of the can, it shouts out the OG drink. But y'all remember Redline?
Yeah.
Yeah, Redline energy drink. That was VPX's first.
That's Proto Bang. Okay.
Proto Bang. Yeah, it's the Proto Bang.
And that was an energy drink that I remember there were like some skateboard videos and people that I follow would like, they're kind of jackassy kind of people that would be like a thing, like almost a stunt. They drink the whole thing and then just kind of like they'd show their face and they'd be like kind of tweaking because it was recommended on those Redline cans, like it was supposed to be 2 servings, like you're not supposed to have, but obviously that's like a challenge or whatever to get people to drink the whole thing. But that was the whole thing, like, do not drink this whole thing.
What real badasses do is they don't drink the whole can. I'm Jack Owoc. How you doing? Yeah. Well, yeah. So those came out, and I remember those. My boy was working at Sears at the time, and he would go in and just like assemble shit all day. And so customers would get shit assembled for free. And so he was assembling a elliptical that had a little heart rate monitor, and he slammed 2 of these fucking things, these red lines, and went in there, and I don't remember the numbers. He said it was like, bro, that thing was humming. It was like, he put his hands on that. Yeah, so
I'm sorry. Like, the more I hear about all of this, like, this should all be illegal. You should not be able, like,
yeah.
I'm like, look, I'm a proud recreational drug user, but like, you should not be able to sell anything stronger than a cup of coffee. Like, people are too dumb. We can't have this.
Even Starbucks, they went back and they analyzed the average caffeine on commercial drip coffee, pre-Starbucks, and it was like, I don't know, like 60 or 70 grams, milligrams a cup. And then like whatever fucking Starbucks is selling, they up that.
Interesting. That's how they get people hooked, and they're like, they make their own coffee, and they're like, this isn't doing it for me.
Yeah. Like, go home. They give them a little taste for free. Like, go fuck with that other shit. See if you don't come back here tomorrow. Yeah. It's pretty devious, man. It really all is just like they talk about how like if I want to sell, if I want to sell somebody Oxycontin, I gotta have a doctor there to be like, okay, this person needs it. It has to be like under a physician's care, because we know it's habit forming. There's like legal theorists that are saying in like 20 or 30 years, the food industry might face massive lawsuits because they know what they're doing when they're like, oh, we put Lunchables has so much goddamn sodium in it that like it triggers a response that causes addiction. Same thing with mobile games. And
yeah.
Like fast food, they have like scientists devoted to making it like light up certain parts of your brain.
Yeah.
And it absolutely works, and it's delicious, and I love it.
That's why when people say fast food is gross, I'm like, you're clearly lying. You say, like,
they designed it to be good. I know what they mean that it's gross. Like it is gross, but like no, they've designed it to be very tasty.
Yeah. They're not just there. It's not like it was. How many fast food places would there be if it was all just tasted disgusting? Nobody would just be wolfing the shit down. But
it took me years to get off, because especially being on the road, and but still, every once in a while, I'll have to. You just have to eat, and just that first taste is like, oh yeah, the whole time.
I was on the road with a guy who was doing keto, and so we would stop to eat, and he would just order 3 fast food hamburger patties everywhere we stopped. And he by week 2 of the tour, he just looked like shit, felt like shit, no energy, and I was like, drinking beers every night, but I was like working out every morning, going on walks. I had all this energy, and he was just like just lifeless sack of shit. And he would just be laying there. He's like, dude, and that keto hits, and I just started shedding these pounds. I'm like, you're gonna die before that happens, dog. You're just eating fast food meat. That's it. That's insane. You can't live on that.
Oh man.
So VPX entered the energy drink game early 2000s. They got Redline. Redline had 316 milligrams of caffeine, so it was more than a bang, just by a little though.
By a little, and it was 2 servings. So
supposed to be 2 servings.
Back in the day, they weren't telling people to have 300 milligrams at once.
So it also it also had the original, all those dubious health and nutrition claims that Bang has. Redline had those too, except Redline didn't really break out of the fitness world that it was marketed to. It didn't really go mainstream the way Red Bull or Vitamin Water, those big brand names, didn't really go that route. And as we learned in our Liver King episode, with all the faults of with all the faults of fitness culture, if something doesn't pass the smell test, those guys know what the fuck they're talking about. They dedicate their entire life to that in learning about this stuff. And those guys are usually the first ones to be like, that's not true. That's
to be like, hold on, super creatine is not a thing.
So it never really broke out of that area. And fitness people still drank it, but it had a brand recognition that was pretty bad. And people were like, oh, that's bullshit. But they're like, it's got 316 milligrams of caffeine. That's why they're drinking it. But it didn't look like it looked like a workout supplement. It didn't look like a commercialized drink.
It looked like a smoothie. Like the marketing for it was not Bang at all.
It wasn't fun. It was it had a lot of inside baseball like fitness talk on the front. It wasn't marketed to regular people. So the fitness world didn't embrace it. Regular people kind of liked it. As you said, those people jackass dudes drinking it. 4 kids had to be hospitalized drinking Redline.
Oh my god!
Now, all of them had underlying health issues. Okay, so it's not good. They all had pre-existing conditions. These were fat kids, and they are expendable. Okay, we can lose a few fat kids. All right, so but that was a big thing. Yeah, it was people. It made the news. It did not have the way you want to. So they decided to regroup and rebrand. So VPX still making money on supplements, but they saw the potential in releasing a fitness branded drink to the masses, which again hadn't really been done. Red Bull, it was like, hey, we give you energy. Monster was like, hit your mom or whatever the fuck. It was just all of it was, but none of them had really taken this we're having fitness science. That's the lingo. That's the currency that we trade in is fitness science. And then
I feel like this and there seems to be, I know super fitness people did this kind of stuff before, but there seems to be pre-workout seems to be kind of a new thing, and pre-workout most of the time is just caffeine. So I can see this okay, let's do a fitnessy energy drink in sort of in line with that of no, it's BCAAs or whatever, and that's what makes you feel good before you work out. It's no, it's just caffeine. That's
Well, I like when I'm on the road, sometimes hotel beds don't really be kicking that hard, and I'll wake up with a little bit of lower back pain. Not getting any younger, and I notice I'll take my Tylenol or whatever, but really what relieves my pain is just caffeine, energy drink. That for whatever reason, after I drink that, maybe it's mental, but But I know they say caffeine has pain relieving qualities. But yeah, it'll get you. It'll get you. Up
I think
and
it's
going,
like
man.
a vasoconstrictor too, which like if you have things swelling or whatever, or like
Oh
inflammation,
yeah.
I think caffeine helps with that. That's I think why it helps with headaches.
Yep.
Anyway,
Well,
it's
I'm
great. Thumbs up to
yeah.
caffeine.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
We
really
celebrate the
good
entire
stuff.
catalog. So he so like as we said, because fitness nerds saw right through it. So Jack figured the general public would be more impressed by their vitamins and amino acids. And he also noticed that Redline looked like a fitness drink and that limited its potential to be mass marketed. So he comes up with
it looks like a Slim Fast to me.
the Redline.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It has like
whereas Bang looks like poppers.
Yeah.
They really changed it up.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, it's like people passing a can of Bang around at a party. You're like, so
Bang looks like it could just be full of nerds candy. Like
dude, Bang well, here's one thing I'll say about Bang is the flavors fucking go. They are real good. I want to talk about like a little bit. Yeah, so we can get right into that. So they came out first thing, colorful cans. And there's no uniformity to it. It's all chaos. And they did a rebrand that made it a little more minimal, where like the colors associated with the can were on certain parts of it, but there was like still the basic white background. There was a while where all those cans were just fucking insane. Like it was like, this one's got a gold background with mustard font. This one's got camo. This one is straight up like rainbow colored. And they go a little crazy and they'll catch your eye. And so it's like, also the more you look at them, and I crazy enough didn't even think about this until I started researching this, is I'm like, oh, that's marketed to children.
Yeah.
That's that 300 milligram caffeine energy drink, and all of their marketing, which we'll get into, it's all marketed to children. And that's like, I don't know how the fuck I didn't notice that. And then one of the YouTube videos I was watching about it, the guy was like, I mean, come on, man, you don't think you can, as an adult, walk around comfortably drinking a can of something called Rainbow Unicorn? And I was hurt because I do it all the time. I love the Rainbow Unicorn. I think it's watermelon and white grape. I don't know. It's mysterious. I like it. It's like a little party in a can. But yeah, they got tons of flavors, crazy colors. And then the way they started marketing it, which is commonplace now and wasn't really groundbreaking then, but he really dove into the influencers. And he was like that, the influencers on Instagram and even early on Vine. And just like, that's how they were like really getting this shit done. And he met his wife. As I told you, his wife was a cheerleader, professional cheerleader for a hockey team in Florida, the Florida Panthers. He met his wife, and he said they immediately hit it off. And for the first 2 weeks, they were inseparable, which is old person talk for they were fucking a lot, kind of great. And so he said that he goes, so a weekend, I looked at her and I told her, your cheerleading days are over. And she was sad for about 5 minutes, because then I told her that she was going to be the VP of marketing for Bang, or head of marketing for Bang. And I don't know if you've seen the Bang ads. They just got it's an energy drink company in Florida. There's tons of hot girls walking around Florida, and Bang energy drink. I'll be scrolling through Instagram and it'll catch my eye. I'm like, oh, hold on, I gotta go back and see what that was about. Like,
I feel like this episode is turning into an ad for Bang.
You're we're really,
the flavors are awesome. The ads are great.
Look, I got it. This is one of the first times where it's a product that I use and it's being featured on the show. I just got to shoot straight. But yeah, so she goes and uses her connections in the cheerleading and modeling and fitness world and just gets this just insane roster of like young ass girls. And then like they also throw on like they got all these Instagram influencers. And then he ended up housing them in something called the Hype House.
Hype House.
It was the Bang Hype House. And basically, you could live there, you could record there, you could be bad boy artist there. To quote Chappelle's show. But it was the Hype House, and he would put these influencers in there. And they had like, I guess that's not a new business model, but this one was like super lax. It was like, look, we only need a few videos from you a month, but in all your other shit that you post, is have Bang in the background. And people were just staying in this house while he was like pretty much bankrolling them to exist. And then to talk about like them marketing to kids, he ended up getting, and this caused a little bit of a controversy, and this kind of shows at the end of the day what a creep this dude is. He got a 13-year-old influencer named Danielle Cohn and had her start marketing the energy drinks. And like, I mean, I know like talking about like, kids should be allowed to wear what they want. A bathing suit's a bathing suit. But if you're a company, I don't know, don't have a 13-year-old in a bikini drinking your energy drink on her Instagram.
Maybe not a 13-year-old spokesmodel. Maybe that's not the way to go.
So I did some research on this as well, and I this subject came up, and like, it was she's a developed 13-year-old girl too, and I know and I'm not saying that in a gross way. That's the biological thing, but it's very clearly they're using that knowledge, and it's
like that makes it worse. It's not not like this is a kid. It's not like this is bad because it's a kid. Like that would be bad enough, but it's like
it's a very
kid they're trying to
sexualized
make
kid.
Sexy,
and a kid that and a girl that they have, a 13-year-old girl that they have hanging out with probably 18-year-old girls and they're all wearing the same like Florida hot girl stuff,
Gross.
and
it's pretty yuck. It's like that's where there's like a point where it's like, oh, this guy seems like a fun, crazy dude, but then it's like, I don't know, man, something about keeping all the influencers in the house. You got the 13-year-old on the payroll, and then people started saying like, hey, why is this 13-year-old drinking a can of 300 milligram of caffeine Bang when clearly on the can it says it's not recommended for anyone under 18? And then he goes, oh, they're drinking the non-caffeinated version. And which they do have non-caffeinated Bang, which why? What are you doing at that point? Go get some fucking juice, idiot. Like, I don't know. It's like when people drink I still see people drinking non-caffeinated Four Locos on occasion. And I'm like, why?
What are you doing?
There's no point. I mean, you can get that much alcohol a much better way. So
Mad
also
dog.
what he did to grow for sure. What he also did to grow the company was he started like sniping competition, or workers from competition. He would get in, like, lure people over with huge paydays and incentives, and probably not unlike another Florida billionaire pedophile asshole, the Backstreet Boys guy. What's that guy's name?
Lou Pearlman.
Lou Pearlman. We did that episode, and he was able to, bring people over because of the star power. And here Jack Owoc is on Instagram, surrounded by bikini models, and like you're some nerd who
other creeps are like, hey, bring that teenager child influencer over here. And he's like, no problem.
Yeah, you're working data analytics for Monster, and you like know the energy drink market, and this dude fucking hoverboards up to you, and he's like, come on, like come hang out with me and all these girls in this house. Like, you're gonna get some folks jumping ship, that's for sure.
And I think like some of the influencers were like pretty big already, right?
Yeah, they were like, he got people who were already doing things and like just kind of got in there and inserted the Bang lifestyle, and it caught, like, obviously caught. They immediately, not immediately, but so Bang's been around for 10 years, coming up on 11. They celebrated the 10th birthday last year. They posted the happy 10th birthday Bang the day after they posted that they filed for Chapter 11.
Nice.
very, very conflicting messages. But he was sniping people from the competition. They blew the fuck up. They instantly became the third biggest energy drink. They edged Rockstar to number 4, because you have Red Bull top of the heap. Red Bull is the luxury brand of energy drinks, and then you have under that you have Monster, and then they were able to. Then it was Rockstar. They edged Rockstar out of there, and also they blew. We just kind of did an episode about a right-wing energy drink, but energy drinks, that's a new thing. Is like these they call performance enhancing beverages. Now it's like a completely viable business model to break into this field. He really did bust it. He busted it wide open. And like we're to the point where it used to be like, why even try? You're not going to take out these guys. And now like anybody can be like, oh fuck, I got a little bit of an online presence. Here's my energy drink now. You can make some, like some impressive sales numbers, which you couldn't do before he got in there and did that. But when you do that, as you say, Jack Owoc puts Target on your back. Now, you're the disruptor. You're shaking things up, and you're making these crazy fucking claims. So we're gonna get these claims. Basically, he says it has amino acids, right? The BCAAs in fitness terms is that's the new snake oil. They don't do anything. They have no effect. They also have they call vitamin stacks. Again, does nothing except enhance its perceived effectiveness. People see all that shit and they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vitamin set, is that like it just has like a bunch of different vitamins in it? Is that
from what I could gather? Yeah, it's just like
which like we could probably do a whole episode about like how like vitamins in general are kind of dubious. Like you mostly just pee them out. They don't really.
Yeah, the human body can only take so much, so it doesn't. Yeah, you pee them out.
Speak for yourself. I'm so full of fucking vitamin B, I can see the future. I'm crushing it over here. But yeah, no. Then he also has this thing called coenzyme Q10, and now this works for like it's an antioxidant.
I have like moisturizer with that in it.
Yeah,
it's like good for your skin.
Allegedly,
I'm probably also being scammed. It's probably
it does work, but it needs like several grams to work, like more than you can fit. You can put it into a face cream. So it's a little more of like a substantial thing, but the amount you would need to have a positive observable effect on your body, you had to drink like 600 bangs. And also they never say how much of this shit is in there. It just says the stuff's in there. But now we're getting on to the secret sauce,
which means like someone thought about it while they were making it, and thus it's on that's like how far away it is from actually being in the bang.
Yeah, I heard somebody describe like LaCroix one time as like someone walked by it thinking about a watermelon. Kind of that ordeal. So now on to the secret sauce, the A1 yayo, the blue meth that he built his empire upon. Super creatine. First thing out the gate, it's not actually creatine. So it whatever like the creatine that people use in pre-workouts and stuff like that, and that has like an effect. It's not.
Do you guys know what is creatine supposed to do?
I always heard it was like it gives you like an energy boost and allows you to work out harder.
I thought it was like kind of like a protein powder analog sort of thing where I think like, I don't know. I remember Mark McGuire would say like he was on steroids, but he'd go, no, it's just creatine back in the day.
Okay. So it's all right. Yeah, that's kind of my association with it is like it's something that someone in steroids would plausibly say they're doing instead.
Yeah.
So here we go. Shit. Creatine, naturally occurring substance that's found in meat and fish, and also made by the human body, the liver, and it's stored in the muscles and used for energy. So because I remember my dad, because my dad was a big fitness guy, and he would do a little dropper of creatine before he'd work out.
Okay.
And, I remember that. But so, let me bring my shit back up. Sorry, I'm gonna point this edit point. 53:52.
Yeah, try not to touch your headphone mic.
Yeah, so I keep swatting them out of my ear. I'll try to plug the other one in here. All right. So 3, 2, 1. So it claims that it's not actually creatine, and he claims that it reverses aging, and this is quoting Jack Owoc himself, reverses mental retardation.
Okay.
So I heard that and I was like, oh, this dude is literally saying like, oh yeah, like if you're retarded, it'll make you not retarded. So to give him like a slight so something can be fire retardant. Retardant has other words you can use. He's saying that as you get older, you slow down. Yeah, you slow down.
You become retarded. Yeah.
You retard yourself.
Yes.
And he said that that's because your body becomes less efficient at getting the creatine to break the blood-brain barrier.
So your body becomes deficient in bang energy, and then that's why you slow down.
Is 16 liquid ounces of bang energy, and you won't be retarded anymore, Kath. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he said that it would reverse the effects of Alzheimer's, dementia, Huntington's disease, Parkinson's disease. He said did all that and reverses it. Now you can make claims like this. I mean, obviously it's illegal eventually, but what he also did though is he, instead of just saying how good his energy drink was, it was also, let me tell you about how bad all these other energy drinks are. And basically every time there was a microphone in front of his face, he was saying that pretty much these other guys are selling straight up poison. It's poison that'll kill you. There's zero super creatine. And it's just, nobody wants it. And so because they did make such an impact in the market, all these places are like, okay, hold on. You're not going to sit here and call us bullshit. while you're saying that you can cure retardation, and then like also kind of like let us sit here and just expect us to take that. So these other brands started mobilizing. This is like in 2021. They started moving on him, and they started like publicly calling out his claims. And so he ended up getting hit with a ton of lawsuits. So we're gonna get into the two big entities that sued him, but some side ones. He also got sued by Prince's estate.
Prince the musician.
Prince the musician's estate, yes, because he has a flavor called Purple Haze now. Not that good, and it used to be called.
Let's get Jimi Hendrix on it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, get Jimi Hendrix's estate to sue.
Yeah, they called it Purple Rain, so he switched to change it to Purple Haze. And it's like, you want the same fucking thing that just happened?
The African American guitar players alone.
Yeah. That's
okay,
like,
Tutti Frutti. Ah, damn
it. I call this Johnny Be Good sauce. It's real good. But they still have Purple Haze, still out there. Sony Music sued them because they were using unlicensed music in their ads, all their Instagram stuff. Like, I know like Instagram gives you like those little music snippets you can use, but I think that like the point of that is that you can use that for your personal stuff.
Right. Yeah. You can't use that in ads.
Yeah. That's gonna have fucking Radiohead on my on my next tour thing. But the big ones were Monster energy drink and another energy drink called Orange Bang that is completely unrelated to Bang. So Orange Bang sued for the name Bang. They were like, hey, and that ruling got upheld. They were like, yeah, Bang, you can call yourself Bang, but you can only do it when you're not promoting creatine drinks. And they were like, cool, not a problem, because our drink's got super creatine, baby.
Right, we don't got creatine in here.
Yeah, did not stop them a fucking bit. They just kept rolling forward on that. Now, Monster sued for making false claims that damaged their business and also for shelf space interference. And essentially the Monster ruling, I brought up the ruling, I'm not going to read like a legalese ruling, but essentially Monster was just like, Bang has been making these claims that, if true, meant that they were decades beyond the world's leading scientists in all of their discoveries. And that's like in the legal things. They threw a little bit of shade on the guy, which to his credit, and we're talking about some real Trump energy, like I hate Trump, and the guy knows how to talk shit. He responded, he goes, I do more science in a day than Monster does all year. Quote Jack Owoc. I do more science in a day. Never.
If only this lawsuit was about who did the most science.
I can see a judge saying, Mr. Owoc, were this lawsuit about who was doing the most science, I would be ruling in your favor. But also, he never got into what kind of science he's doing.
No,
he's
making baking soda and vinegar volcanoes.
Yeah. Life science.
Yeah. You got to see what I've discovered with this one. I discovered that if you use the green moss from the dollar store, it's cheaper, but it still looks like shrubbery around the volcano. Like his science isn't even about what's going on in the volcano. It's like he's like whittled his own trees and shit. So they hit him with this. And the shelf space interference is another thing. That was how I initially found out about this. I didn't know about any of this shit. I saw a thing about shelf space interference. And apparently, like, again, on just some dirtbag Florida shit, they had their sales reps going out there, and they were like, so there's shelf space that the store can just put you wherever they want, but there's shelf space that you pay for.
Yeah.
And Monster was noticing that they would go in to like to restock their shit, and it would just be Bang stuff there. And it's kind of like the Mr. Beast, like, hey, if you see my shit, straighten it, but like the toxic version of that. And so they sued them for that, and the rulings came out too. Monster was received $291 million from this motherfucker. $291 million. Orange Bang walked away with $175 million, which I'll say it, they were never going to make that goddamn much money in their life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I never heard of Orange Bang. Those dudes.
Not a bad deal.
If I owned Orange Bang and I won $175 million, you know what I'd stop doing? Making Orange Bang.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, done.
Walk away. You're done.
So VPX has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, bankruptcy gets misunderstood a lot. Chapter 7 is what individuals file, where you're basically just like, broke, bitch. And they're like, okay, you're broke. Chapter 11 is a lot of times like people hear that like, oh, the company's done. Not the case. You can still operate and function while undergoing Chapter 11. You're allowed to stay in operation. You do have to work out deals with your creditors, which means that he's kind of under the thumb of the people that want him dead now. So
the haters have won. It sounds
the haters and the losers have won, man. Bang was to get out of this. Bang was allowed to access $60 million in capital from Bank Group, but it should be noted that the Bang already owes this Bank Group $300 million.
Yeah. so just digging a deeper hole.
Yeah. So with all said and done, VPX and Bang are close to $1 billion in the red.
$1 billion in the red.
Billion in the red. Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was there's a podcast, I didn't listen to it, but it's like one of those like grind set podcasts, and they had Jack Owoc on there, and like the tagline of the YouTube video is, "Let me tell you how I made $1 billion in a year." And it's like, well, I hope you remember how you did that. You're gonna have to do it in one more year.
I need to listen back to this one. Yeah.
So their market perception is destroyed. It's kind of a joke now. It's a punchline. I'm not saying it was ever cool, but like, you know, Bang is kind of associated with douchebaggery now. It's just there's no other way about it. I drink mine out of a clear glass in the car, you know. But and also the cat is out of the bag on all their false claims. So all the shit they built this brand on, as far as terms of like what it can do, everyone knows that's false now. Everyone knows it's made up. But
yeah, I'm surprised they weren't hit with like lawsuits and fines about the super creatine, because like I don't think you can just say that.
I do apologize. That was a huge part. We got into the shelf space stuff. That was a huge part of Monster's thing. Was okay if you're gonna lie, like if you're gonna trash our company and also lie about what your company does, and it's clearly having an impact on our bottom line, like that should be illegal. And it was found to be. Yeah, they were not able to do that. So that was a huge part of that $300 million ruling.
Did he ever have to prove anything about super creatine, or is it just such a it's a thing I made up and then that flies legally?
I think it's a thing where it's like, hey, you can't do that anymore.
Or like
you
FDA?
can't like that. Yeah, like you can't. I think that is illegal based on the FDA, but the FDA doesn't. Like you don't have to go through the FDA to sell something like that. I don't think. I think it's only retroactive. So Monster probably alerted the FDA, and then the guy was like, well, yeah, it's not really creatine. So, and then they got in trouble. That's my guess. Because they don't lab test every single thing that goes in our food supply. Hence our problems with like fast food and shit, and how we're all gonna be suing people in the future. But
So he like I would imagine maybe that they have to call it something else. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so we have the cat
super duper creatine.
Yeah, super duper creatine. Mega creatine. Yeah. But what they still have going for them is they still have a ton of flavors, and they still have 300 milligrams of caffeine in every can. And
so Pat will keep drinking that garbage.
I have learned nothing. Okay. But so it's up to Jack Owoc to do it again. You know,
to make another $1 billion in a year.
Yeah,
if anybody can do it, he can.
I heard people say they made Hove. It made Hove say, "Okay, so make another Hove if you can." Chew on that for a minute. Worth it? Yes, completely worth it. This dude.
That is such a loyal customer. You are so in.
Yeah.
I'm in the pocket of Big Bang, and not the universe explanation. But no, I would say worth it simply because even if Jack Owoc, even if the company folds tomorrow, I think he's still financially going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? He's probably not going to be where he was at, but he's not going to be in the fucking bread line. That's for sure.
He can join those weird rallies that Michael Flynn does or something.
Yeah, those Michael or the pillow guy, that weird thing. And also like the pillow guy, and this is a thing, the old guy who's clearly old but has dyed his hair jet black. And Jack it's just an oddly uncanny valley of hair, and it's kind of thinning but also not, and he's a workout guy too.
Follicle. He got a beard follicle.
Yeah,
that's right. Yes, beard follicle transplant. He's like a big workout guy too. Like he's always because since he's in all those videos, he's always working out with his shirt off, but with a very like 60-year-old, he honestly he's a real mess of a person. Like he's kind of in shape, but also like it kind of just a frightening. The teeth, he's got the scary brand new teeth, like white teeth that are so white.
Yeah, it's like it's a type of being in shape where you're like, I don't want to see this guy when he's taken all of this off. Like, when like there seems to be a lot of like prostheses here. Like they're like maybe the teeth are fake or the hair is fake or there's just like stuff like maybe a tan or something that it's very have you guys ever seen the movie Behind the Candelabra?
Yes.
No. About Liberace. It's great. It's so good.
God.
But, yeah, that's a good Michael Douglas as Liberace.
Yeah.
He just
Matt
has
Damon as his lover.
Yeah. He just has this weird, like old, creepy, lizardy vibe to him where it's like, he takes off all the glitz and glam and then he's like very uncanny. I feel like that's the vibe I get from from the Bang Energy Man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, let's say he were to go to jail over this, and then you get to see, like, when he can't get, like, the veneers touched up.
Right.
And he can't, like, put more beard hair on his head. And, like, and the fake tan starts to wear off, and he can't take the supplements. And it's like, that is an insane fucking look.
Right. Exactly. Like what happened to Andrew Tate.
I realize here's the thing about Jack that I just realized too is in the workout videos, he is, and I can look at him, he is a hairy guy, but he is waxed as fuck. He's got this kind of big, like barrel chest, like 1940s, like wrestler boxer guy, 1930s, but it's so waxed and it just looks so creepy.
It's not right. I don't. If hair grows on your body, it's like it's there for a reason. Don't for like men, like don't be waxed. That's weird to me. Just be hairy. Just be hairy. It looks better.
I shave the little part that pops up from the back of my collar because it's getting higher and higher every day. So I gotta get back and do that. Yeah, I have like a pretty hairy chest. Like I've got like stoned sometimes. Like when I was younger, I've gotten high and been like, fuck it, let's like hit that with the razor, and after you get done, you're like, why'd I do that?
Why? No, leave it. If we can leave our listeners with one piece of advice, it's I mean, hey, do what you want. If you feel better without it, great. But like generally speaking, leave the chest hair. Don't wax it.
It's a garden. Let it grow, man. So
I did, and I randomly have a really fun Jack quote that I found, because Jack. He's got beyond confidence. Like he talks because he's kind of aspirational, but he doesn't have confidence. He's got Godfidence. And what Godfidence is defined as by him is a supernatural confidence devoid of arrogance and beyond human understanding. So
he sounds devoid of arrogance,
but he's not arrogant. He's confident, but it's devoid of arrogance, and also no human being can understand how powerful it is.
That rocks.
Oh man, yeah, that sums it up right there, man. Put a pin in it. That is the Jack Owoc and Bang story. We will keep y'all updated as they come along, but if you're out there,
we'll let you know when he can't get Bang in the store anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is about a year ago when I was on the road, I started noticing that like Bangs are like it's all the whack Bang flavors now. Like there's good Bang flavors and there's whack ones. And if you go to a place and it's all they got is like sour heads and blue raspberry, you're just like, what's going on here, man?
The haters are winning here. I can tell.
Guys, well, hey, thanks for listening, man. That is another episode of Lie, Cheat, and Steal. Guys, we have, if you like what you heard today, you can check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/lie, cheat, and steal. You can find us online. We're pretty much at LCS Podcast on just about everything. Also, I'm on Twitter at PZTX, also on Instagram. I got all my shows and dates posted there. Kath, you have anything for us?
I'm gonna let Mike go. Let's
let
the guest go.
Sir, I didn't know if we closed on Mike. We don't have a lot of company over Mike.
Well, I love being here because I'm a big fan of the podcast. I've told you guys.
Appreciate it. I'm a big fan of you, Mike.
Oh
yeah, man.
Cut it out. Go on.
This will be out in probably like a week and a half. So.
Oh, right on. Well, I don't know other than I have a podcast called International News Service, and it's very silly and stupid and fun. And I got all the social media. Yeah. Pow was on an episode. And I do a band called Riverboat Gamblers and a band called Drakulas, and Dracula's spelled with a K. And you can find me on. And the McCuewans is a fake Christian. I don't know how to describe it. They're America's #1 faith-based married comedy duo.
Yeah. We gotta get Avery on here one time. I don't know if we can do like a McCuewans in character on the show. But
that might be fun.
That'd be great. McCuewans, come on and talk.
We could talk about some mega church or something.
Yeah. David. There was an old Christian comedian that's kind of been outed for he claimed he was an ex-Satan worshiper.
Mike
yes, he wrote a book.
Mike Warnke, yeah.
Mike Warnke,
yeah.
We'll come back for the Mike Warnke episode.
Right. Jefferson will come back.
Yeah,
Jefferson and Dottie will be here.
Yeah.
And I'm Kath Barbadoro on social media. I have another podcast called What a Time to Be Alive. I think that's all I have to plug. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, guys. If you're out there, man, enjoy caffeine responsibly. Make sure you buy it from a reputable dealer. But above all, man, be safe, be smart, but don't get caught.
Don't get caught.